Hello and welcome to another session for Tech Tools for Geneabloggers, Series 2, Evernote. In this session, I will show you how to add and use stacks to further manage your notebooks within your Evernote account. Let's go across now to have a look at that. We're here on the home page of my Evernote account, and you can see the most recent cards that I have been looking at. And on the right-hand side, in my tasks list, you can see some of the things that I had added to notes, such as find the birth and death for George Evans and search for death and burial details and so on, and send for certificate. That one I've done. Now I want to further organize my notebooks, and I want to use a feature called stacks. Now this is a little tricky to work with initially, but once you get it, you'll realize the way in which it will help you to look at your notebooks. On the left-hand navigation bar, let me open up notebooks for you, and you can see that I have opened up a stack here called Clan of Tailors. So it just looks like a heading, like a notebook, but in fact it's a selection of notebooks within it. So in other words, a stack is really like a folder in which you can place subfolders. I have a few stacks in place here. One is research for friends, another is house history, and the Angel Estate romance, and finally the Welsh ancestors down the bottom here. Let me just scroll down a bit more. And I now want to add some of my notebooks to the Welsh ancestors stacks. So I need to be in that stack by clicking on it. And on the top left-hand side, you'll see that you've got a new image here for a stack called Welsh Ancestors. Using the top right view options, we can now reorganize the way these notes look within that section. I now wish to add notebooks to the stack. And this is where it gets a bit tricky. So allow me to pause here for a moment. Now that I've organized that in the background, let's go back and have a look at how I can now share a particular set of notebooks to a stack. Coming back to the one that you're familiar with now, the notebook called Me and My Great Grandparents, Maternal. And on the top right-hand corner under the three dots for more actions, I click into that, I can now add to a stack. And this is where you'll also find the ability to create a new stack. But for the moment, I want to add this notebook to the stack called the Welsh Ancestors. So I simply click on the Welsh Ancestors, and it gives you a brief note at the top to say that's been done. I have another notebook here, the Newth Tribe, that is beginning to take shape, and I now wish to add that to my Clan of Tailors, which is another stack that I've created here on the left-hand side. So this time I want to use add to a stack and now go to Clan of Tailors. The stacks are only visible by me. If I share this whole site with other people, they won't actually see them, according to what Evernote tells me. That's how you can add to a stack. So you'll see the results of what we have done down here. Under the stack called Welsh Ancestors, we now have Me and My Great Grandparents by 2. And it also gives you this blank My Notebook, and you can move that around if you don't want it in that place. So let's just do it one more time. We want to add this time me and my grandparents. And this is also for the Welsh ancestors. So I go to the 3 dots, add to a stack, oops, add to a stack and choose Welsh ancestors. If I also want to create a new stack to further organise some of the other notebooks that I've had, I follow the same instructions. And this time just be on my notebook, the plain one. And then go to okay, so that one is now saying I can remove that from the stack, or I can add it to shortcuts, so I can rename it. That's not quite what I'm after. So let me just go to my cutting line, which is this one, where we have other members of my paternal family line. And I want to add that to the clan of Taylors. But no, what I want to do is add a stack, but create a new one. I'm falling over myself today. A new stack then, and we want this time to call this the cutting line and create it so. So I have a new stack over here beginning to emerge called the cutting line, and I can continue to add to that stack as I wish. So it's a bit like setting up your files, folders and subfolders in your computer filing system. It's a little tricky at first, as you see, even I, who have been using it for a little while, stumbling a little bit, but you'll gradually get used to it. Knowing where to click from is the important part. Try it for yourself. If you need more information about how you can use Evernote for various things that you're doing with your records that you've acquired and captured from your ancestral research, then do go across to my courses in my academy called Coach Carole online.thinkific.com. I'll be back with another in the Evernote series soon.